Aloha friends, this is Tito Kang coming to you on this edition of Unlock the Leader's Code. Happy National Espresso Day. That's today, and as you've read at the top of my blog post, we are going to be discussing an insightful moment to kind of share with you and celebrate with you, for you espresso aficionados, the story that I had the chance to be part of. So when I was with Starbucks back in 2008, we received a memo from Howard Schultz, what was called the Transformational Agenda. It's a series of communication where Howard, when he took over the company back again as Chief Executive Officer, wanted to get an alignment throughout the organization to where he wanted to take Starbucks in the future. Now, if you recall back in 2008, it was some pretty tough times because the economy was tanking, real estate was crashing, the real estate bubble in the US was bursting, and the world economy was in a whirlwind on a spiral downwards, not upwards, right? So we received a memo, and in this memo we had announced that we were going to shut down all the stores in North America. We count for over about 7,500 stores, if my memory serves me well, that was going to be shut down from 5:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. for the sole purpose of retraining all of our partners, our baristas, on the art of espresso. Now, during that time, we all knew internally as partners that espresso beverages made up for the bulk of the business, what we were known for. You know, your lattes, your cappuccinos, tall non-fat latte, double tall non-fat latte, my favorite, wet or dry cappuccino. And this was a defining moment for us. So you might have read about how Howard approached this in his book, Onward. He recalls the situation and recounts it. From a partner's perspective, I can tell you this. When we heard about the news, most of us that were there for a long time, I started with the company back in 1995. So in 2008, we were 13 years with the organization at that point in time. We were ecstatic because we grew up with the tradition of serving the best cup of espresso that we could. I was trained about the 18 and 23 seconds rule. I trained others about the 18 and 23 seconds rule, where the espresso from a Starbucks perspective would be more bitter, and we used to adjust our grind, change our grind. Nonetheless, I won't go into the detail of that. However, here we are, and a message from Howard telling us that we were going to shut down the store for 4 hours. Now, think about it. As a leader inside an organization, you have to take that decision. What do you think got him to get there? At one point, you must have realized that there's a risk of sales. We're talking 7,500 stores. You're shutting down the sales of those stores, shutting down the stores and taking away the sales across the enterprise. That's going to risk the sales. Second thing, if you do shut it down, it's going to allow the competition to take advantage of this moment. Maybe they seek of it as your Achilles heel, an opportune moment in time to go grab your customer share. On top of that, you would have, of course, your regular customers that would have come in the store, would not be happy about it because they can't get any coffee. Or you would also have the cynics saying, hey, T told you so, Starbucks was a fad. It's gonna go away. With all this economy that's tanking down, this luxury item called espresso beverage at $5 is not gonna be able to make it through. And you gotta think, what are the partners going to think about it? I can tell you our reaction as partners was that we were elated because we were going back to what we believed was a root. We strongly believe, I personally strongly believe, that the strength of Starbucks at that time in its growth was its investment in its people. Coaching its people, training its partners to understand what it was all about that we were delivering. And a DVD video was sent out across the organization to all the stores, and that night, all of the baristas got to relearn espresso taught by Howard. Now, I'm going to go a bit longer on this video, but what is this has to do with leadership? Well, it has to do with the law of intuition. The law of intuition says leaders sees everything through a leadership bias. And we believe that leaders are readers. During that time, Howard knew how to read the situation. He knew how to read the trends. He knew how to read the people. He understood the effect that would have on the media, on the customers, on the competition. And he knew how to read himself. He had to take a look inside and see what he was capable of and what he was capable of taking in amongst the critics. Now, hindsight is always 20/20. We fast forward today. Starbucks is still going strong. After 2008, Howard took it all back up and we reconnected with the source of who we were, which was coffee. And we reconnected with our customers, which strengthened the brand and has allowed the brand to do what it's doing today. So there you go. That's the law of intuition applied to espresso. I hope if this was helpful and useful. If it was, please like, share, and comment below this video. You'll get a bit more insights in terms of what you can do to apply, change, or teach in your business. This is Tito saying, aloha, mahalo, lead on, make every day BAMDIGIOUS, and as always, until I see you live and in person, here's to your prodigious success.